Air 4825, we're now use stop you R26 on
Hey, 26 clear land, no wind calm, traffic force depart on the wind 180 at 2535.
Boom.
All right, so we are on episode 6. In this one, this episode's just going to be me. I don't think anyone else shows up in the video at all. That said, I do have one of my kids here who wants to talk about the video with me. Who are you? Callista, and you are 4 years old, right?
No, I'm 7.
You're 7, huh?
7.
All right. Well, I think you're 4.
No, I'm 7.
Well, you're not allowed to be more than 4.
And I'm about to turn 8, so I can go on airplane rides with you. Hooray!
That is true. The EAA lets you go on Young Eagles flights at age 8. So you'll be able to do your first Young Eagles flight after you turn 8. That'll be this summer. You won't be able to go on your birthday. You'll have to wait until they're doing a Young Eagles flight. So
when are they doing the Young Eagles flight?
I don't have the schedule yet. We'll find out.
Okay.
Anyway, this video is going to be me getting the horizontal stabilizer skins deburred and then dimpled. And it's going to be a lot of deburring. This is probably a very boring video. In fact, the whole thing is just deburring and dimpling. So if you want to watch, great. There's definitely some interesting parts coming up involving how to dimple some difficult areas. I learned I had to use all 3 dimpling tools. I used the squeezer, I used the DRDT2, and I used the special blind rivet dimple kit. So that's gonna show up here. That was an interesting one. I did not know what that was when I got it, so it took me a second to figure it out, but I definitely could not reach some of these things without that, so it was kind of cool.
Can I get a small tree?
No.
Why?
So a lot of deburring. Just got a this takes so much time. If you look in the van's instructions, it even says a lot of the time that you're going to spend on this stuff is going to be drilling, deburring, and dimpling. And it says something about, luckily, this can be done on a couch while pretty mindlessly while watching TV. So I did a lot of the deburring off camera in the living room watching TV with the wife at night after we put the kids to bed. So that really doesn't need to be seen anyway, but that was a great way for me to do all the bits out here. So now I'm just now trying to figure out how to use the DRDT2 with the skin. Now I'll tell you, you can get a lot of the skin done in this thing, and it definitely does the best dimple. However, you have to use the dimpler correctly, and I'm not using it correctly here. I found this out later. I made bad dimples on pretty much all of the horizontal stabilizer. I just went and looked at my horizontal stabilizer yesterday and was just kind of embarrassed at how the horizontal stabilizer skin looks. If you look in the instructions from Vans, everyone apparently does it where you don't dimple it deep enough. You don't dimple it hard enough to get a flush, smooth skin. Do you remember that when we did the rivets, Callista, and they were just kind of bumpy a little bit?
No.
I'll show you later, but they ended up not being too great. I was able to use the DRDT2 for some of this, some of the spars, but not all of them. So it just depends. Like most of the spars you couldn't, I had to use the squeezer for it, and that seemed to work out pretty well. Let's see. Looks like I got it on the spars and a lot on the skins. This is the one that I need to get. Alright, female side on this end. Then male side here. See how that works. Can't really tell the difference between this one and this one, other than a little bit of extra pointing. All good. So that was me just figuring out how to use the dimpler, right? The blind rivet dimple kit. In fact, those were my best set dimples because, I mean, you can see it so clearly in this video. Somebody more experienced than me would have seen it instantly. Those dimples used by DRT2 were not set deep enough. But the blind rivet kit, I was breaking nails by pulling that thing so hard. I'd buy a big old pack of nails because I kept breaking them because I was pulling it so hard. And those dimples were really well set. So better than DRT2 because of my poor method before, that's all. I did have an issue with that rivet gun, the blind rivet gun, breaking a nail in there. A piece got stuck in there and I could not get it out. I fought with it, I think all night. I was trying to, for about 40 minutes, I was sitting there fighting with this thing, trying to clean it out. And then I came back in the morning and kept going with it, and fought with it again. I had Mike came over and looked at it with me, and I took it apart. So yeah, that's it for the dimpling. We're gonna move on to something else here.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like the only fucking thing there, in my mind, is...
Yeah, twist that or something, but I tried to twist it to the right, that didn't work.
You know, they just don't do anything.
Do that, and go from this end. And see, there's the other end of it. So if there's something stuck in there... So, see this. This couple things. Twist this way. See that makes sense?
Oh, pretty good. Yes.
So, then try to work.
I mean, I can kind of understand Dave's objection, but...
I can understand the objection to the IFR thing, but it's not my call. I didn't make the call. I just signed that he had the hours.
No.
And I didn't send it to anyone. I gave it back to the guy. I might have included an email that said, upload, check the box and click submit.
I've got 3.2s, and that's a 3.2, I believe.
And this is to create a flush surface?
Yeah, once you put the rivet in. So the other option I was told is just to use a real rivet, which I have those. These are, full rivets.
That's some pretty bad news, actually.
Yeah? Who died?
Met a guy, it's worse than that. Met a guy who bought one of these kits.
Yeah?
He's been building for 25 years.
Well, that guy is not building then. Did a bunch of shop work, just mainly built some shelves over there to put the parts on. Nothing special. And now, I'm ready to hopefully do the last of the dimpling. Set these elsewhere. Even this also goes fine.
So now we're back to the DRDT2. I'm getting the center of the skins dimpled. And it took some bending, and I got a little bit of scratches on the inside of the skin. Now, I'm going to prime, so it doesn't matter in the end, but if you're not going to prime, you should take care to protect the inside of your skins while you're doing this. Again, I'm setting all of these dimples, unfortunately, not deep enough. I've since adjusted my DRDT2 to be tighter, like, I don't know, closer when you squeeze it. I had previously accounted for the thickness of the skin with the way that I set the DRDT2. Apparently you're not supposed to do that. If you read the Vans Section 5 instructions, it says that it's really difficult to overdo the dimpling, that you have to really squeeze the crud out of it to overdo the dimpling. So you can squeeze it very, very tight. They say that the most common thing they see is dimples that aren't squeezed tight enough. And you can, any one of you who has experience could look and see all these. The way to tell, and the way you can really easily see that I did it wrong, is by looking at each one of these dimples, and you can see that the dimple itself isn't constrained to the area where the rivet goes, but rather you can see like a little pool that extends out from where the rivet's gonna go. If you squeeze it hard enough, that actually goes away, and the dimple only affects the rivet, and it makes it nice and flush and doesn't affect the exterior area around the rivet. So I didn't do it right on pretty much the entire empennage, except some parts of the elevators when I finally figured out that I had been doing it wrong the whole time. Anyway, learn from my mistakes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around.
So now that we finished the dimples, the next part is to sand the edges of everything. But I need to go back to Mommy's house and cook some dinner before I leave. So we better go cook dinner.
Why are you leaving?
I got work tomorrow. Want to say bye-bye?